What is going on, everybody? This is Theme Park Brandon with some sad news out of Six Flags America. It appears that Batwing, their flying Vekoma Dutchman coaster, will no longer be operational. But this would not be a Theme Park Brandon video without a little bit of fun here. And I'm going to be sharing with you some rather bold predictions regarding the future of Vekoma's flying coaster and why I do not think that Batwing will be the last flying coaster from Vekoma that we will see in the new Six Flags theme parks. Hope you're all having a wonderful day here. If you're a fan of Batwing, let me know in your comments. I actually really enjoyed the ride over Nighthawk, which was the original one. I fell in love with the X-Flight at Six Flags Ohio when they opened it in 2001. And then obviously that became Firehawk at Kings Island. I just always preferred that layout over Nighthawk at Kings Island due to the barrel rolls at the end instead of the corkscrew, and then the actual helix. I just liked how you got so close to the ground. Well, I have been on Batwing a few times. It's only been maybe twice, 3 times, not much at all. So I've been on X-Flight a ton of times, and obviously X-Flight and Batwing are the same. But the sad thing is Six Flags just is literally the Vekoma Flying Coaster killer. When you had Firehawk get removed from Kings Island, I think 2019, right? And then Nighthawk at Carowinds this past off season, and now we have Batwing. Adios. So this ride will not get relocated. I think that's pretty much obvious at this point. I wish this ride had a better future. The placement of this ride at Six Flags America has always just been annoying. I understand why they put it there for future growth, but they never capitalized on all the land around it. They could have at least made another midway connecting the part of the Cracked Axle Canyon area where the SLC and the Rapids ride is over to where this is possibly. They never did that. So now we're stuck with the roller coaster that opened up in, again, 2001. And the sad thing is, Batwing was the last coaster that Six Flags America's ever added, or ever will add, that was a ground-up coaster specifically built for that park. Because Raging Cajun and Firehawk were both relocated from Great America. So, Batwing has a track length of 3,339 feet long, has a height of 115 feet, top speed of 50 miles an hour, 5 inversions. Again, great layout. I really wish this ride would get relocated, but it just sadly is not going to, which is really sucks. Because if you've never experienced it, one of my favorite coaster elements out there was going up the lift hill on your back, and then as you go down the little hill, you just flip over, and you're like, "Holy crap! Hang on, restraints, you're too high," which is just unfortunate. But this ride really never. It was plagued with maintenance issues. It had a lot of other minor, capacity issues, neglection from the park, the company, etc. But I'm optimistic because with the working relationship that we have with Six Flags and Vekoma, and Siren's Curse is definitely not the last Vekoma to the parks. I know Six Flags Mexico is getting the family of Vekoma Boomerang next year, but large coasters, there's going to be more. I think that one of the parks will open up a flying coaster, the next generation flying coaster, like FLY at Phantasialand. If you've never been on this ride, and I've not, but I have a lot of friends who have, and they all rave about how good this ride is. Like, just judging by, there's no POV unfortunately really out there, but judging by the off-ride footage and word of mouth, like, this ride is legit. It's smooth. It's intense. It offers really cool transitions. There's reasons why it's ranked pretty high among coaster enthusiasts. But just imagine if we would take FLY's layout, which is very, very, very condensed, and spread it out more of an out and back style layout, where you have really cool Western theming involved, and having this ride be a taller, a little bit longer, a little bit faster. That could be a recipe for a mega coaster for one of the current Six Flags parks that I think could instantly become one of the best in that park, and maybe the entire chain. It's hard to say because most of us watching this have not been on FLY. And since there's only one next-gen Vekoma Flying coaster out there, hopefully there'll be more. That's the big question. But which park am I talking about? Well, there's a lot of current Six Flags parks out there that could benefit from a flying coaster, because now, before the merger, Cedar Fair only had the flying coasters that were inherited from basically the old Paramount Parks and Six Flags. Cedar Fair's never purchased a ground-up flying coaster, because you have Nighthawk came from California's Great America. Paramount did that. Six Flags America, obviously Six Flags installed Batwing, and then Firehawk was Geauga Lake, which obviously Six Flags Ohio. So it's interesting, but I do think that the new Six Flags with both chains now, the benefits of having a flying coaster, and this would also be really cool if we would ever see the DC comics and the Marvel stuff go into I don't think Marvel, but the DC, like Superman, Batman stuff, go into the current Six Flags parks. If they would do that to a legacy Cedar Fair park, just saying, this would be a really cool ride. It would be called Superman Ride of Steel or Ultimate Flight at your parks that are a non-traditional Six Flags park. Just saying. So, which park am I talking about? Well, I will give you a little bit of a hint. Possibly on a poster behind me, one of those parks. If you look at all the major parks out there, Cedar Point could really benefit from having this style of ride. Be located in the Snake River Falls plot of land, has had the ride travel over the lagoon onto Millennium Island. You know where I'm going with this. Like, that would be a legit cool concept ride. A very marketable ride experience to market for Cedar Point, because they don't have a flying coaster and there's none around other than Six Flags Great America in Chicago. Just saying, that would be really cool if that would fit at Cedar Point. I think there's a lot of benefit to that, having it be multi-launch, focusing on a few inversions, some really cool theming elements, having the train swoop over the water. Again, that would be really cool, because Cedar Point is known for having some really great rides that interact with the Midway, and this could be another one of them, as well as interacting with the water, because Iron Dragon, Maverick, they go over water. I think that's really the only two that our Cedar Creek Mine Ride does as well. So, just saying. Now, another curveball out of all this, really, as I'm just thinking about it, another park out there that could really benefit would be Canada's Wonderland. What if Canada's Wonderland is a dark horse? Because obviously Alpine Fury just opened up, which is a phenomenal ride. They don't have a flying coaster anymore. They had their crappy Time Warp, which was a Zamperla ghetto-fied flying coaster, I like to call them. If they would get a ride like this, who says no to that? I mean, Canada's Wonderland having a ride like this, be traveling over the Whitewater Canyon area in the back of the park through the woods. That'd be pretty cool, it would be. So, as I am kind of sad to see this ride that would never be able to operate again, be officially closed. Goodbye, Batwing. It's been real. Vekoma, I love the concept, and I'm glad that these rides stood around for at least 15-20 years they average. So that's not horrible. But I think the time has come where America and the world needs more of these Vekoma flying coasters. With that being said, what are your thoughts? What do you think about this? Do you think Cedar Point's a good fit for the next gen flying coaster? You know what to do. And if you want to know how I rank every single coaster at Cedar Point, check out the video at the bottom of your screen. With that being said, this is Theme Park Brandon. Thank you so much for watching. Go Bengals. And remember to smile today, think positive, and of course, keep riding coasters.